Toothache, also called odontalgia. You bite into something cold. 1 second later, a shock shoots through your jaw as if your tooth just pressed a nuclear button. It's not just a small, fragile tooth. The real problem is space. Inside, there are nerves and blood vessels trapped inside a hard structure. When a cavity, inflammation, or infection creates pressure, the pain has almost nowhere to escape. It throbs, stabs, and climbs toward the temple, sometimes all the way to the ear. A tooth is small, but when it screams, the entire face listens. And if the pain lasts more than 1 or 2 days, with fever, swelling, a bad taste, or difficulty swallowing, you should seek medical attention quickly. Eye pain, scientifically called ophthalmalgia. You stare at a screen. Then your eye starts stinging, it burns, and light suddenly feels personal, as if the sun itself has a problem with you. Eyes hurt so much because they are your body's main control panel. They contain many nerves, an exposed surface, fragile moisture, and tiny muscles working all day long. Dryness, irritation, infection, migraine, eye strain, or internal pressure can trigger a real sensory panic. The trap is that the eye cannot truly be put on pause. Even when closed, you still feel it. And remember this for later. Some pain does not come from the place where you feel it. If the pain is severe, with blurry vision, halos, fever, nausea, swelling, or difficulty moving the eye, medical attention is needed immediately. Ear infection. Here we are talking about ear pain. You are lying down. Everything is quiet. Then the ear starts pounding from the inside. Not a wide pain, a deep trapped pressure that cannot be scratched away. In an ear infection, fluid or inflammation can build behind or around the eardrum. And because your ear is such a small space, the pressure quickly becomes unbearable. It is like being trapped in a tiny room where someone turned the music up too loud, except the music is your pain. Sometimes hearing becomes muffled, and sometimes the pain pulls all the way into the jaw. If it comes with severe pain, symptoms that last, fever, fluid, pus, blood, or hearing loss, it should be checked by a professional. Nerve pain or neuropathic pain. This type of pain does not hit like the others. It burns, it stings, it travels in a line. It feels as though an invisible electric wire is running through the body. The problem is not only a muscle or a joint, it is the messaging system itself. A compressed, irritated, or damaged nerve can send a signal that is far too strong, even when the real danger is small. That is why sciatica can start in the back and run down the leg, as if someone traced a road with a red marker. Your nerve is not simply saying, "Be careful," it is screaming national emergency. And if this pain comes with weakness, worsening numbness, loss of control, or persistent pain, you should not wait. Sinusitis. You bend down to pick something up. Bad decision. The forehead, cheeks, nose, and sometimes even the upper teeth suddenly feel heavy. The sinuses are small cavities inside the face. When they become inflamed or blocked, mucus circulates poorly, air moves poorly, and pressure rises. The result? Your face turns into broken plumbing, and the sneaky detail is that sinusitis can imitate tooth pain. You think the tooth is guilty, while the real suspect is hiding inside the cavities around the nose. It is not always serious, but if the pain is strong, lasts a long time, gets worse after improving, or comes with persistent fever, it should be checked. Sore throat. You swallow your saliva, punishment. You speak, punishment. You drink, punishment too, just more polite. The throat hurts so much because it is impossible to let it rest. It is used to swallow, breathe, speak, and cough. When it is irritated by a virus, inflammation, acid reflux, dryness, or sometimes a bacterial infection, every movement becomes a reminder. It is as if your body replaced a normal hallway with sandpaper, and yet you still have to use it all day long. The scientific term for a sore throat depends on the inflamed area. When the pharynx is affected, it is called pharyngitis. If the inflammation mainly affects the tonsils, the medical term is tonsillitis, commonly called strep throat or angina. If the inflammation affects the larynx, it is called laryngitis, often accompanied by a hoarse voice. Finally, epiglottitis is inflammation of the epiglottis. It is rare but potentially serious and requires urgent medical care. If these pains come with difficulty breathing, swallowing, high fever, major swelling, or last too long, just a scratchy throat. Headache. You try to think, but it feels like someone is squeezing your skull from the inside. Sometimes it throbs, sometimes it pounds behind one eye. Sometimes light becomes your official enemy. The strangest part is that the brain itself does not feel pain the same way cut skin does. Often it is the blood vessels, muscles, surrounding nerves, sinuses, neck tension, stress, fatigue, or migraines that trigger the storm. But because everything happens near the control center, it feels as though your entire day has been confiscated. Here are a few quick, simple, but powerful ways to relieve it. Hydrate. Drink a large glass of water to correct mild dehydration. Isolate yourself. Rest in a quiet, dark, cool room. Apply cold or heat. Place a cold compress on the forehead or a warm one on the neck to relax the muscles. Medication. Take acetaminophen or ibuprofen while strictly respecting daily dosage limits. But if the pain is sudden and explosive, with confusion, weakness, fever, stiff neck trauma, or unusual changes, seek medical help quickly. Back pain. You pick up an ordinary object, not a wardrobe, not a safe, just something on the floor. And suddenly your back announces its immediate resignation. The back hurts so much because it is the body's main crossroads. Muscles, nerves, discs, joints, posture, breathing, stress, everything passes through there. When one area locks up, it is not just a local pain. Your entire way of walking, sitting, coughing, laughing, and sleeping changes. The back is not just a spare part, it is the hinge of the machine. Back pain does not have one single scientific name. The medical term depends on the region of the spine, also called the vertebral column, that is affected. Among them, lower back pain is called lumbar pain or lumbalgia. It is the most common form. Pain in the upper or middle back is called dorsalgia. Pain in the neck area is called cervicalgia. If the pain radiates down a leg, it is more specifically called sciatica. If you experience pain after a fall, fever, weakness, numbness, pain traveling down the leg, or bladder or bowel problems, you should seek medical attention quickly. Teeth, eyes, ears, nerves, sinuses, throat, head, back. These are places where a small problem can become extremely loud. Your body does not always scream because the danger is enormous. So if a pain is new, intense, strange, or persistent, do not treat it like a contest of courage. Listen to the signal. Check it. So how many of these problems have you already encountered? Tell me in the comments. If you liked this video, the next one will be even more interesting. Promised.